Okay. Oh, thank you. This is Dr. Emmanuel Ezekiel.
Not
I'm
yet,
from Malawi.
please. Not yet.
Yes. So I'm going to have a presentation today on time management. But before that, I would like to tell you more about International Internship University,
You can start. Now you
which
can
is
start.
working.
Now
Okay,
you
thank
can
you.
start from the beginning. You can start. Hello. I think Dr. Emmanuel lose the connection. We will wait a moment. He will talk today about time management. We'll wait a moment. He have problem with the connection in Malawi. We will wait for a moment. It happens sometimes. Another 2 minutes. Then if will come Sir Emmanuel, we can talk about mental health today. I have a presentation and I can share with you this presentation. Hope is visible about self-care. I'm sure that is a good yes. Mental health is essential for general well-being and is just an important as important as psychical health. Physical and mental health are closely linked. There is no health without mental health. Mental health is our emotional, mental, and social well-being. It affects that the way we think, feel, and act. It also helps in the way we manage stress, relate to others, and make choices. When we feel good mentally, we can work productively, enjoy our free time, and can actively contribute to the community we belong to. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence to adulthood. Throughout life, if a person has a mental health, their problem, their thinking mode and behavior can be affected for sure. The OMS describes mental health as a state of well-being in which person realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work usefully and productively, and is able to contribute to the development of the community to which he belongs. Optimal mental health does not only mean avoiding mental illness, but also taking care of your happiness and well-being. Let's talk about self-care. Caring for ourselves is essential in order to have a good and fulfilling life. We can keep talking it out for the bag without putting it back. Too often we forget that the most important relationship we have with ourselves. The quality of all the other relationships in our life depends on it. Self-care takes many forms. To give yourself time to relax and quiet, to rest and contemplate, eat healthy and exercise enough and regularly. Self-care means building a life from which you cannot escape. Caring for ourselves. My question, self-compassion and exotic is an exotic idea? Maybe, or maybe not. Caring for ourselves and the compassion with which we treat ourselves in timing of suffering are nature's sign of selfishness, nor of excessive indulgence. They are the sign of healthy attitude toward us, the foundation of healthy relationship with ourselves. The sign that we deserve we treat ourselves the same way we treat others when it is difficult for them. Yoga. Yoga, a connection with our body, a peace in the recovery after a trauma. Yoga is an integrated system of practice that includes physical postures, meditation technique, and breathing technique, with effects on our physical and mental health. Recently, more and more evidence is gathering for the effectiveness of yoga as a complementary treatment in recovery for trauma. Abuse and healing. Healing from emotional abusive relationship is a multifaceted and very personal process. It takes acceptance and awareness of our emotion, healthy expression of anger and rebuilding attachment, developing a sense of autonomy and asserting with a courage and compassion what we are. Expressive writing affects on physical and emotional health. Expressive writing involves writing for several days a row for few minutes, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and half an hour. We can write about the traumatic events that we have experienced. Will be so good for our mental health. This habit can have positive effects on your physical health, but also on your physiological functioning and emotional health. Depress the brake pedal, find your calm, always find your calm. Keep your calm in your soul, in your mind. Learn to reduce chronic happiness and stress with a simple and very powerful method that will help you regain your balance. Increasing the variability of heart rate throughout breathing exercise improves our cardiovascular health, immunity, and emotional mood. And it's very important. Physical activity protects against depression. OMS recommendation. The World Health Organization recommends 115 minutes of moderate aerobic physical activity each week, or 75 minutes of intense aerobic physical activity, or an equivalent combination of the two. Those exercise has well-documented physical and psychological benefits. It's true. The internal critic is the voice in our mind. Our internal voice, if I can say this, developed on the early relationship with the people who cared for us, who mercilessly judged us for any mistake, and whose message is that we are never enough. In adulthood, we can reduce this voice by cultivating compassion and gentleness toward ourselves. Yes, the internal critic or the abuser inside us is a very, very important part that we must manage. What do healthy relationships look like? Healthy relationship with ourselves and those around us require empathy and care, but also the ability to recognize our contribution to conflict and the ability to tolerate some degree of ambivalence. Mindfulness, meditation, and the relationship with the content of your mind. Mindfulness meditation can not only help you reduce stress and or anxiety, but can lead to a changed state of perception that can help you to change the relationship with the content of your mind. Maybe we need some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just with ourselves and to contemplate, think, how was my day? How can I do to be better? How can I do to be happy? Maybe, like I say, always we forgot to be happy with simple things. We forgot to be happy when we see the sunset. Maybe we forgot to be happy when we walk in a park or on the beach. About limits. Limits in relationship with others are necessary not only for our emotional health, but also for the health of the relationship that we cultivate. It protects our rights, our goals, time, and personal space. They are a measure of functional relationship with ourselves and others. And this mindfulness meditation is not for sure a relaxation technique. Mindfulness is a mental state, and our ability to reach and maintain the state can be trained through mindfulness meditation. My next question, how we draw boundaries in our relationship. The process of drawing boundaries in our relationship with others begin with knowing our needs and defining our goals. We always need to be accepted for this, not to compare me with another person. No, I must be focused on my goals, no comparison, because we all are unique in our nature. Once we have identified a limit related to our time, emotion, or values, it is important to communicate them firmly and to always act in accordance with them. Personal care is an important part of this routine, but along with other aspects of it, it is subject to the same restrictions, making it almost impossible to relax on a busy day. Let's see. Even so, it is important for your physical and mental health to make time for yourself, which means you have to be creative and use every moment to your advantage. Here is how to do it. Welcome, Sir Emmanuel back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I was talking and you are welcome. Please, you can talk about time management. I'm sure that people can wait to hear you.
Thank you very much. Me, first of all, apologize that Malawi has got problems of electricity, problems of network, as you know, Africa. So I had that problem network. Yeah, so I'm sorry for that.
You can start your session. Good luck.
I think you are done with the introduction. I think you are done with the introduction. I can just continue in time management.
You can.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Today we are going to talk much about management. Whenever we hear people about management, this is something that comes to our mind, something that we think of. We think of the time. And also, first of all, we need to understand what is time. And then from there, we need to understand how we can manage it, because always we have time, but it depends on how capable we are to manage the time. Sometimes we may have some appointments, we may have some other things that we are committed to do at a particular time. But sometimes when we are not good managers of time, we don't make it. So today we are going to talk much about what we call time management. So first of all, I'll first explain about time management. When we say time management, we are talking about how you deal with your time, how you make sure that you are going to meet the deadlines, how you are going to be punctual, how you are going to convince other people that you are a good time manager, how you're going to make things happen at the right time. So whenever you have got a plan, in terms of meeting the deadlines, you may have been called for an interview. Then if you have been called for an interview and then you are supposed to arrive there maybe 5 minutes before the start of the interview, then you are supposed to be there maybe 10 minutes before the commencement of the time. So when we are talking about time management, we are talking about how you manage the time, how the punctuality system in your life is being implemented, how you make sure that you are at the very point where you are supposed to be at a certain particular time. So when we are talking about time, we are also talking about being conscious of the time, being able to use the time properly. That is to say, if you are supposed to start something at 8 o'clock, then you are supposed to be ready before 8 o'clock. That is 10 8 o'clock. Then you have to be ready. If you are going to sit for exams or for interviews, then you have to be there before 10 minutes. That is to say, you prepare yourself, become comfortable, you have a rest, you do what you can. So how go into the room of interview or either to go to the room of examinations? That is to say, you have enough time to prepare yourself. So if you meet the deadlines, if you do things timely, if you are a punctual, if you are a good manager of time, then you are always faithful. That is, you are always faithful. That's the first tip. Being faithful is that it is simply to say that when you promise something to at a certain time, then you are eager to do that at that particular time. So you don't miss appointments. So you don't miss anything you have promised. And this time management will help you to build trust from other people. People trust you. If people trust you, you are confident something that you have promised, you are going to fulfill that one timely, in the right time. Then people will have confidence in you. People will trust you. You will build a very good relationship between yourself, either between yourself and the community, either between yourself and the church, either between yourself and your office, between yourself and your organization. Because people trust you. Whenever you promise that I will arrive by 8 o'clock, people are sure that you are going to arrive at that particular time. But you being a reader, and then you are meeting the deadlines. So then people start to talk and say, okay, he is a leader or she is a reader. He's not a good manager of time. So if you lack something in your life, since you are a reader, people will not call you a good reader. Why? Because you are lacking something in yourself. Something that you are supposed to do is not found in your life. So if a reader lacks something that is a part of readership, then people will say, this is not a good reader. This is not a good reader at all. So a good reader is somebody who is able to manage the time accordingly, and is the person who, if he or she promises something, the person will do it right away at the very time that the person has promised it. So the first part of time management is making sure that you meet the deadlines. It's making sure that you are right away at the very place where you promised to be at a certain time. If you promise someone to meet him or her at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, then you have to make sure that 10 minutes before that 9 o'clock, you are already around there. So you are comfortable, you prepare yourself, you get a short rest, and then from there, then you can continue, or you can get into the room of interview, or you can start examinations, or whatever. If it is a meeting, then you can go into the meeting. If you are a facilitator, when you go in front facilitating, reading a meeting, people would like to see you that you are comfortable, you are not rushing. So people will trust you. People will follow you very well what you are doing. Otherwise, if you go into the room of a meeting, you are facilitating, you are facilitator at that particular day, but you are not comfortable, you are just arriving, you are sweating, you are not okay, you are not comfortable in the room of facilitation. So your audience, the participants will be able to understand you that you are not okay, you are not comfortable, so you are not ready, you didn't organize yourself. So something that is not well organized will be done in a correct way. One more thing that we have to is that we are good managers of time. Now, if we have a teacher is teaching at a certain class or a certain school, so you tell your students to be in class by 8 o'clock, but you are always having school at 9 o'clock. What will happen? What will fall? What will happen is that by and by as we go, you find that the students themselves, they are starting coming late to school. They're starting joining you at 9 o'clock because they know that our teacher comes to school at 9 o'clock. Since you promised them to be in class at around 8 o'clock, but you yourself as a teacher, you are coming to school at 9 o'clock. So it simply means that you are not doing what you are saying. You are saying something and then doing something more. So this will discourage the students. This will make the students to become honest. They are not going to be good students. They are not going to be responsible citizens. They will be also citizens that promise and not meet the deadline. There will be the students that may promise, but they're not going to do it in time or accordingly. Why? Because a teacher or a reader, being a role model, we are to be in the forefront of being good time managers. So all those people that follows will follow what we are doing. If you are a pastor, then you promise your congregation to start worshiping at the church around 7 o'clock in the morning. But always we are arriving at 10 o'clock. So you find that the whole church one day will come at 10 o'clock, will not come at 7 o'clock. Why? Because our pastor doesn't come in time. So that is a very good indication that people have lost trust in you, that you promise, but you don't fulfill. One. The second thing is that you put on the deadline, but you don't meet the deadline yourself. So you are a weak leader. So if a leader is not a good time manager, people will not trust that one. People will not have confidence in that one. Time management will help us to build a very good relationship with the community, with the society, with our country, with our organization, with all those people we are interacting with all those people that we are working with. So if we are good time managers, then it will strengthen our relationship between ourselves and the people that we are working with. If we are working in the community, we are doing what we call community mobilization. So community mobilization, it's when you call for the community to have a community meeting. So that a particular community meeting, you may set up time that, okay, by tomorrow we are going to have a meeting at around 8 o'clock in the morning. So you being the ready facilitator for the meeting, then you are arriving at 10 o'clock. Now, next time when you choose the same time, when you set time for the community to come and the meeting around 8 o'clock, they will not arrive at that particular time, because now they are used that they know that you may set up the time, but you may not meet the deadline. You may not come in time. You may not be present in time. So they, by and by, if they come late, that is to say, they have lost confidence in the reader. So what we are saying here is time management will help us to build or to strengthen our relationship with the community. It will also help us to be good leaders who have qualities of a good leader. It's part of the qualities of a good leader. And also it will help us to be truthful. It will help us to be honest. It will help us to change us into a reader that says something and fulfill what the reader has said. So it will help us to strengthen whatever we are doing in the community, in the society, even in our organization where we are working. People will build trust in us that we are time managers. We are so confident what we are doing. So we also read that say something, and at the end of the day, we fulfill it. There are some of the things will help us to be like someone who is a role model in the community, in the society, in the country, wherever we are. So role model is someone who does things that help other people to change. Because if you are a role model and the people are asking what to do, if you are doing better, if you are doing something that people are interested in, if you are doing something that is giving some in the people are willing to imitate, to be like yourself. So this will help them to make sure that you are a real role model in the society. That is to say, if we are a reader, we need to have characters that will help other people to improve in their daily lives. But if we have some characters that discourage the students, that discourage our audience, that discourage our community, that discourage our workmates, that is to say, we are not good time managers. Good time managers are the people who helps to make sure that they are there as role models. People are looking at them and feel like, I would like to do as the reader is doing. I would like to be as the reader is doing, and I would like to be like that person. I would like to be like my teacher. So students in class, they should have a passion to say, okay, I would like to be a teacher because my teacher is honest. My teacher is always punctual. My teacher has got a very good relationship with the community, with his workmates or her workmates. My teacher is a good role model. So those things are coming in as part of the benefits that may come as you are a good time manager. So it simply means that Being a good time manager, it helps in many things. Some of the things are the ones that we have already looked into, and some of the things that also we should be looking at are that is the strength that we have in managing the time. So the time always runs. We may not stop the time. The time cannot be stopped, but we are the ones who run after the time. So we should also know that the time is just ticking on and on, ticking on and on, ticking on and on. So if we set the time that we want to do this at a certain time, so we are the ones who are to take an action, so that we have to do the thing at that particular time, because the time is just running out. As the time is going by, it is not going to wait us. The time is there to go on ticking and ticking and ticking. It is 3 o'clock, it is 4 o'clock, it is 5 o'clock, it is 6 o'clock. It goes on and on every day. So if you are going to do something at 8 o'clock, you are the one that have to take action. The time will never take action. The time will never take action against in favor of us. No, time is not action in favor of everyone in life. But people have taken action in favor of the time. That is to say, if you set the time, you are one who is going to do something with the time. The time is not going to do anything with you, because there are a lot of people in the world who have set their time. So if the time is working towards in favor with other people, it means the time would have been already. So the time cannot stop in favor of us. But we have to, when we set time for a certain action or activity, we are the ones who have to prepare for that particular time. We have to take our time. If you are running out of time, we have to rush. We have to run to meet the deadline, so that if people are waiting, then we have to arrive at the venue 10 minutes before the function, 10 minutes before the action, because the time is still going on. You are the one to take action against the time. If you have set the time, you have to do something with the time. The time is going to do something with you, but you are the one who is going to do something using the time. So if you have told people, if you have asked the people to come and to join you at a certain time, as a reader, as a role model, as someone who has got very good characteristics that the people may be inspired with you, you are the one to arrive there before the people. Prepare yourself, prepare for the meeting, prepare for the lessons, prepare for a talk, be it a motivational talk or whatever that you are going to do at that particular day. So you have to do that before the time. So that is one way of trying to manage the time. So if we are good role models, we are going to be good time managers. We are going to make sure that we meet the deadlines that we have set ourselves. It is very unfortunate sometimes when we set the time ourselves as leaders, but we find ourselves failing to meet the deadline, coming very late to the meeting, coming very late to our offices, opening our offices very late. Sometimes you may go to your office and you find someone waiting outside there. The person has been told that the officer in this office has not yet arrived. And the person asks a question, when does this office open? When is he supposed to be here? He's supposed to be here at 7:30. What time is it? This is 9 o'clock. He has not arrived yet. Yes. So as you are coming to your office, the person is waiting for you. He looks at you as a failure, someone who is not working punctually, someone who does not keep the time, someone who is not a good manager of time. So the values, the percentage of your characteristics may be deducted. Why? Because you have already shown a certain characteristic which is not honest. So the person will not trust you. Whatever you are going to tell the person, whatever you are going to advise the person may not listen to that. And 50% of the advice will go astray. The person will not listen, because the person is listening to someone who doesn't meet the deadlines, a person who is not honest, a person who does not say something and fulfill it in time. So we always like to listen to people who promises and fulfill things accordingly. So time management, when we are talking about time management, we are talking about fixing the time accordingly, setting a program and fix it and fulfill it accordingly, doing something in time, doing something timely. You know, if we look into the sun, if you look into the sun, we expect the sun to rise in the morning. Everyone expect the sun to rise in the morning. But had it been that the sun is not honest, and this day the sun lays up 10 o'clock in the morning, all of us would have comprehended what has happened. Everyone would have wondered why it happened. But if you look into these things, they are so punctual. If you look at the moon, it raises up at the very time. It is only right with 50 minutes every day. Every day it is right with 50 minutes according to its sequence. So what happens is that some of these things that they should teach us a lesson. Why do they do their things timely and accordingly? Why do they do things timely and accordingly? If you go to the hospital, to the maternity ward, and you find a certain woman who is almost 16 months pregnant, everyone will be surprised to say, what is happening to this one? And the doctor needed to have another diagnostic to find out what has happened to the woman. Why? Because we expect the baby to be born in 9 months' time. So if you that is to say, God has set that, and after setting that, then being a good time manager, you find that everything happens at a very good time. It has accordingly. So when we see things are not happening accordingly, then we say something. We say, okay, maybe something has gone wrong. Maybe something has gone wrong. So if we think something has gone wrong, if people think that a reader in a reader's characteristics or in what the reader is doing, something has gone wrong. That is to say, people will lose their trust in that particular reader because they are suspecting that something has gone wrong in the life of the reader. He is not or she's not doing things accordingly. There must be something in the mental, in his mental. There is what we call mental retardation, whatever like that. So there is something that is related to his mental health. Something that is related to his mental health because he's not able to judge things accordingly. He's not able to do things accordingly. So when we are talking about time management, we are talking about somebody who has got a sound mind, someone who has got a healthy, who has got a mental health. That is his mental health or her mental health is working properly. He can promise and fulfill in time. He can set the time and do things according to the time. He can promise something and fulfill it at the very time. He or she will be able to build a relationship with other people using the trust that people have in the reader. So these are some of the things that when we are talking about time management, we are talking about doing things accordingly. We are talking about setting time and fulfill it at the very time that we have promised. If it is 10 o'clock, then it must be 10 o'clock. If it is 7 o'clock, then it's 7 o'clock. So if you say 7 o'clock and then we come at 9 o'clock, then we are not good time managers at all. We are not. We are supposed to do things according to the time. We are supposed to do things according to what we have promised, because these have got benefits as readers. This will strengthen our trust with the community. This will strengthen our trust with the society. This will help us to be honest in whatever we are doing. This will help us to build a society or a community that is good and honest, because the children that looks at us as role models, they are trying to copyright. They are trying to copyright the characteristics that we have. So if we are showing bad, then the children that we have who are copyrighting what we are doing, they are going to do the same in the future. When they become the citizens, they will not be responsible citizens in their society. They will not be promising and fulfilling in time. Why? Because the role models that they had in their life in the past were not honest. The role models were not able to build their community in a right way or in a right manner. They were just there, but they were not role models. They were not good time managers. So managing the time is a skill. So these are some of the things that we call life skills. So time management is part of the life skills. the skills that should be used in your life in order to we need to be like someone who is a good reader. So I think you may agree with me that a good reader is a role model. Someone we expect a lot from him or her. We expect a lot of good characters from a good reader or a role model. So when we are talking about life skills here today, we are talking about some of the skills that can be used in order to model up a very good character in life. And we are talking about characters that may inspire other people to follow you. We are talking about some of the skills that may help other people to change in their life. We are talking about the skills that will help other people to manage life. You know, if we do not have skills in life, one of the skills being the time management, that is to say, we are going to be a failure. Because if you have been told to attend a meeting or an interview at 10 o'clock and you are arriving at 12 o'clock, that means you are going to arrive there while the meeting or the interview have already been filled. So you are not going to be interviewed that particular day. So you missed a very good opportunity in your life. So if you don't have skills that may help you in meeting the deadlines or trying to make life better, then you are going to miss opportunities. So missing opportunities in life, sometimes opportunities may come once in a lifetime. So if you miss that particular opportunity, it means you are not going to have an opportunity again in life. So we may not know that the opportunity that I'm missing today is an opportunity that is coming for the last time. It is my only last opportunity that I have in life that I remain with. So once you miss that particular opportunity, that means you are not going to get one in life at all. It is there for all. So this is that one. So if you look back, you find that I've missed the opportunity. Why? Because I do not have the life skills. Why? Because I do not have one of the life skills, which is time management. So if you don't have this part of management as part of your life skill in your living standard, that means you are not going to make it at the end of the day. Because one, you are going to see friends. Friends will not be on your side. Why? Because they do not trust you. That a certain office, then your bosses will not trust you because you meet the deadlines. So time management is very important, and I understand that most of the people are trusted. Why? Because they meet the deadlines. When you say, okay, can you come tomorrow? I'll do this. So when it comes to tomorrow and you fulfill what you promised, then people start developing a trust in that particular person. So it is one of the very important life skills. One of the skills of life that must be practiced by everyone, trying to fix time accordingly, trying to set the time and be able to fulfill what you have set for, and be able to fulfill to meet the deadlines, and be able to do what you promised at the very minute that you promised that you are going to do that particular thing. So this is one of a very important life skill that every human being must have, because lacking this, if you don't have this skill of time management, one, you are not going to be a very good reader. Two, people will not trust you. Three, your relationship with other people will easily be damaged or destroyed. Four, people, very close relatives of yourself. They can be your friends, they can be your wife, they can be your husband, they can be your children, uncles, your dad, and the like. They will not trust you. Why? Because you don't meet the deadline. Why? Because you don't meet the deadline. They expect you to be somebody who can meet the deadline. They expect you to be somebody who can say something and fulfill it at the very end. So when we are talking about management here, we are talking about a skill. It's not something that we can rule it out. No, a skill. And one of the skills that helps to live happily. The deadlines, they are able to build their relationship with other people. They are able to to strengthen other people. They are able to make sure that other people who looks at them, they are inspired. They are inspired by their characters. They are inspired by their more role models. So they are the people that people can trust. They are the people that the country can trust. They are the people that the church can trust. Even their family can trust them. Even their workmates can trust them. Even their bosses can trust them. Even everybody can trust them. Even if you meet them for the first time, then you may read something from their face that this one is a good reader. This one is a good time manager. So what we are saying at this time is that this skill is supposed to be found in our children, in adults, in women, in men, in girls, in boys, in every humanity. This skill must be promoted in school. I understand in other schools we have got this lesson, which is known as life skills. And part of this is time management. We need to learn how we can manage our time. We need to learn how we can properly use our time. The time wasted will never be gained. The time that will never be recorded. So if you waste the time, you are losing a precious commodity in your life. Wasting time, you are losing a precious commodity in your life. Even if you just sit down somewhere and you don't have anything to do, you don't have anything to think about, you don't have anything to talk about, but you just sit down, you are wasting your time. You need to have something to do. You need to fix your time. Early in the morning when I woke up from sleep, then I will do this. You need to have a timetable. Every one of us needs to have a timetable of the day. You come out from school, then you come out from your work, then you come back from job. You need a timetable of what you are going to do at that particular day. The activities of a certain day, put it together on a timetable. That is time management. So you have to follow your timetable. You have to know this time I'm supposed to do this. This is my special time that I have to go jog. This is my special that I have to go studying. This is my special time that I have to go to school. This is my special time that I have to talk with my family. This is my special time that I have to talk with my boss. This is my time that I have to work on a computer for the homework and whatever. So time management, it simply means that you have put it together all those times that you have set and give them the timetable. So you are going to follow the timetable each and every day. That is to say, you are going to follow the timetable in whatever you are doing at a particular day. Only from emergencies that come. But if there are no emergencies, then you are going to stick to your timetable because you know what to do at a particular time. Even if you go to other schools, which are those schools that have got boarding schools, you find that they have got a menu. So that menu will tell you that on Monday they take eggs and rice. Then on Tuesday they take beef and sima or whatever is there. So they have got that menu. That menu is a guide. That menu is a time management. They don't want to waste the time talking about what are we going to eat today. They have already that on paper. They have got a timetable, so they are going to follow that one. So if you wake up in the morning, you need to have a timetable. That particular timetable will guide you what to do at a particular day. So if you are not a good time manager, you need to have a timetable in your house, even within your room where you sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, then your eyes will go on at your timetable. What am I going to do today? I'm going to do this. What am I going to eat today? I'm going to eat this. So you may fix your time properly and accordingly. Why? Because you have got the timetable that you are following. So you are asked, you are forced to follow the timetable, to implement the timetable, to follow it, what to do at what time. So tell other people that have got a well-fixed timetable that at a particular day, you cannot just go to them and say, okay, can you escort me to the grocery? Can we go to watch football? You cannot do that to those people who are good time managers. You can't do that because they have already set their time. When you go there, they will tell you that, okay, sorry, I'm busy. I'm going to study this time. At 2 o'clock, I'm going to study. I'm going to work on my computer. I've got a lesson that I have to go through. So you cannot just go to their house and pick them and go with them anywhere. Not at all. Why? Because they have got a set of time that they are following. So they have got deadlines that they have to meet. They have got timetables that they are following. So they cannot do something apart from their timetable. They cannot disappoint their timetable. So those people are good manager. So having timetable is a skill that every person, every humanity must have. Starting from those school children, they need to have a timetable. How they are going to study, how they are going to divide their time in terms of the lessons, the subjects that they are going to. Am I going to study geography at what time? Am I going to study biology at what time? Am I going to study maths at what time? So they need to have a fixed time all those subjects. So they are going to do that. So they don't have time to waste it, because the whole day is already some programs that you are going to do. So if you have already set out the programs for a particular day, so you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to sit down and go around jog at something that is not on your timetable. You always like to fulfill the timetable. You always like to fulfill the promises. You always like to follow your timetable. So when we talk about time management, it is simply about setting the time, doing whatever you can, meet what you have set up yourself, meeting the deadlines, making sure that you are doing anything possible so that you don't disappoint your timetable, making sure that you are fulfilling every promise that you wrote on your timetable. If you promise the timetable that at 1 o'clock I'll be doing this, make sure that you follow that. Make sure that you do that, so that all the activities, all the actions that in a particular day are jealously followed, That is to say, you follow them accordingly. You follow them with keen interest, that I have followed the time. I haven't lost any time. I haven't spent time on something that is not on my timetable. So these are what we call management, and we are attacking these to what we call life skills. So if we talk about life skills, we may have a lot of them, but one of the life skills that we may talk about, which is very, very important, that will help us to be leaders, that will help us to be good teachers, or that will help us to be good officers. It is what we call time management. So management is really very, very important for us. Why? Because we are the ones that fix that set the time, and we are the ones that need to meet the deadline. The time will be there. The time will never wait for us. The time will never tell us what to do. But we are the one who have to look at the time and look into the activity that we are going to do and see what time have we set, and make sure that we meet the deadline. So the time will be there, but we are there to implement what we have set ourselves. So lastly, I would like to say that time management will definitely help us being good leaders in terms of strengthening our time, strengthening our relationship with the society, the community, our families, the relationship, our relatives, and many other people. And also, it helps us to be punctual in whatever we are doing. So, lastly, let me thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to speak here today on time management. Though we had some problems at the beginning in terms of the network and the like, but for sure, I'm very happy that we had this opportunity. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.